From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
I know this video has been done to death ranking the Fallout factions, but hopefully you're going to enjoy this one. So, right before we start out the list, without further ado, grab yourself a drink, grab yourself something to eat, sit back, relax, and enjoy this tier list. It's going to be a good one, my friends. So, without further ado, you know, you got to get straight into it when you go on YouTube. We're going to start out with the 34, the Boomers. The Boomers, I think, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I think they were the weakest part of the game when you had to convince the Boomers with, I think it's every single faction. You either had to convince them or completely wipe them out. It was fun to get there. But once you're there, you just have to do a bunch of these Radiant sort of semi-side quests for them, build up a nice reputation, or, you know, completely murder them. Completely. I mean, yeah, I just think that there's much more, you know, not saying that their, you know, their whole lore isn't interesting at all, you know, coming from an irradiated Fallout bunker and then finding a place, carving a place out for themselves in the middle of the wasteland. But I just feel like there's more interesting factions, and they don't play, let's be honest, they don't play a huge role in the game. I think it's a D tier. Okay, Caesars, I think we're gonna save the, you know, the top ones for the end, because I think that makes it a little bit more interesting. Yeah, we're gonna sell the good ones, the best, for last. Crimson Caravan. I feel like I think there are a couple of good missions. I like their kind of shadiness of it. Their huge capitalistic shadiness of the faction. But they like the same thing. They kind of play. You know, they're always like talked about in the game, but they're not huge role on the entire story. More of a side quest thing, and they're kind of like put in a place that's very awkward to go to. Like, you need to go through this building, you need to go through another building if you want to do business with them. I feel like they lack a lot of personality, a lot of pizzazz that I feel like some other, you know, big businesses in the game actually have. I think we're going to put it in a D tier. The Enclave, I think they were perfectly done in this game. I like that they're a sort of semi-secret. You need to really go out of your way if you want to find the Enclave in this game. And it's a perfect like way to do a bad guy from a previous entry. It's almost like a little tiny Easter egg, a tiny little nod to them. I really like it. I think it's perfectly well done. But, you know, we can't give them exact praise because their influence on the story isn't massive. Let's be honest. But all the characters are nicely well done, nicely written. It's a nice, fun thing. I think it's a B tier, but like if we're specifically talking about the execution inside the game, perfectly done, I think, in my opinion. The Emertas, in my opinion, like the top, I think these are the tops guys. The tops guys and the Emertas, they kind of, in my mind, they just sort of like wrap around and become like the same faction. So the Emertas, pretty scummy, pretty, you know, mobster, classic mobster. What the fuck am I doing? This is thumbnail. Mobster type guys. Pretty shady. Not something like massively interesting about them. Like nothing crazy. They don't have like some secret, you know. They don't like eat people and shit like that, like with some other ones. It's not that great. It's just pretty basic. I think the same sort of with the tops. I think the tops are a little bit nicer, but they're just really basic. I think E tier. I think these are the problem with this one is that these are like you know, this game is great and everything, but I mean, let's be honest, my friends. Like, there's no big difference between the Fiends the Viper Gang. I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember the second one. Just put them all together. I mean, they're not like super interesting. I guess with this one, you can go into their base of operations and talk to them a little bit. Get at least some sort of a lore, but you still discover that they're pieces of shit. So, you know, they're not great. They're not terribly written, but, you know, it's nice to have some bad guys in the game. So let's put them in E tier. Okay, the White Glove Society. This mission, this quest was the single. I think this is one of the best quests in the game. So well done. You can go any way. You can join them, eat people, go even fucking harder. I think you could eat the kid or whatever. You could eat the kid. I remember you could do that. Not the kid, but that guy who got lost. And you could, you know, do a sort of James Bond style thing where you actually complete it ethically. Quest was superb. The people there, you know, it's so interesting because, like, you know, at the surface there's these nice, pristine people, not like the other ones who are just born into sin. Everything is so sinful. They're more pristine, but once you go deeper and deeper, they're probably the worst one out of the bunch. They're much worse than the Tops and the Amertas people. Perfectly, I think, honestly written. I think A tier, but like with the other ones, they don't have a huge aspect on the plot. The followers of the apocalypse, like they were let's be honest. I mean, they weren't great. They were just like these sort of medic class who had a little bit of a fort. They weren't amazing. Not too memorable. I think a nice C tier for them. Yeah, Freeside, the people of Freeside. What the fuck? No, this is not the Kings. The people of Freeside. Like, the thing is, I think this is one of the worst parts of the game because you don't see, like, except for like that little stupid ass kid who or those kids who wants to kill that fucking like rat in the middle of Freeside. Like, you don't have a real connection, and that whore like in front of the Van Graff place and the Atomic Wrangler. Everybody wants to go to the fucking Atomic Wrangler and shit like that. Besides that, you don't really have a huge interaction with the NPCs of Freeside. Like, even if you do this amazing thing, besides, you know, having a couple of good people, like having some couple of good relations with the Fiends, you don't see that real impact of your hard work, which is kind of it's a very sad thing. C tier. Honestly, now put it with Boomers. Honestly, let's bump him up to C tier. Okay, this one is another fun, classic Fallout, self-contained story. The followers of the apocalypse. You can even fuck them over, or you can, you know, fuck them over even harder. I mean, did they really think they could go on fucking the moon? We didn't even go on the moon in real life, and they think they could go there. Yeah, but honestly, followers of the apocalypse, I like them. I think they were nicely written. They had a nice arc to them. Either you can fuck them over, or you could sort of help them to the moon. Was it the fucking moon? I mean, they're not gonna make it out either way. I don't think so. I don't fucking know. Does radiation? Can you fucking? I don't know. They need to explain this shit. But a great quest, and even greater quest when it comes with the. No, it was a pretty like mid dungeon style quest, but the characters and the writing and everything like that, the shit that makes this game good, made it perfect. Made it a really nice thing. I think honestly they could go up with the A tier. We might change that up a little bit. Good Springs, yeah, your traditional starting town, starting village, perfect opportunity. What's it called, to get a nice tutorial. I think Good Springs is. I'm gonna glaze this game even more. It's a perfect introductory location to the game. Iconic almost in its own right because it is that starting location. You get a feel of every different types of personalities, but you know they're your overall good normie type people. Put them in C tier. For the is this just these fucking tunnel people who live in the fucking? Oh shit! Wait, okay. So in real life, there are people who live in the sewers in New Vegas. This is a real thing. A lot of homeless people. Either they're very disrespected in the streets of New Vegas, or they don't really have a place to stay, and they generally like live underground. Their derogatory term to refer to these people is mole people, right? I think these are the underground livers, people who live underground in fucking New Vegas, because there's actual people who live in underground in New Vegas. I think that's that representation of that like sort of dirty part of New Vegas. I think that's a nice. I didn't even fucking realize that until just now. It just fucking clicked. Neurons just connected for the first time in fucking forever. Yeah, pretty fine. I mean, they're not crazy. They're fucking F tier. Put them with the fucking basic. Okay, we're gonna bump these guys up and put the basic bad guys in E tier. Not a great, impact on the plot. Great cons. I like the great cons. Kind of these hippie style people been fucking fucked over by everybody. Fucked over by the NCR a lot. I like them. I think they were nicely written. Gonna put them with B tier. The Gun Runner Arsenal. This one is. It's like the fucking in Lethal Company. You have that shit where you can. That big building where you have to give your items to, the items that you collect on your planet. You never see really the people inside. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you never really get a chance to really see them. The only shit you see is the robot. I mean, the robot's fun to interact with, to trade, but they don't really have that real presence. But they're funny, I guess. I think we're going to put them... Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to bump up Caravan, because they do have much more impact on the story. But the Gun Runners, except for having that little robot, I mean, they don't do much. Put them in D tier. Okay, this nice secluded place, Jacobstown, with Marcus, the super mutants. This is a goated location. It's so different than any single other place in the map. I mean, let's be honest, this fucking map looks pretty assy on most parts. It looks pretty disgusting on most parts, but there's a nice green section of the map, and the capital, the main POI there is Jacobstown, and that's a beautiful location. You get to meet that shouty super mutant there, Tabitha. Good times, great times. Yeah, and I think they are well written, but they don't have let's not be honest, they don't have a huge impact on the story. I think you just do a couple of missions, a couple of side quests there. You go there for the dog, Rex. Yeah, it's all right. Put him in B tier. Mojave Express. What the fuck? Who put this? This is just a box, no? Am I crazy? I mean, there's a couple of couriers in the game. Like, who you gonna fucking that Ulysses and yourself? Is that the members of this fucking faction? I mean, you don't see a lot of couriers in this fucking game. You see, maybe is that with that one guy in Prim who fucking died? There's not much. Whatever, fucking F tier, I guess. The Brotherhood of Steel, perfectly written, just like, in my opinion, the Enclave. It shows the Brotherhood of Steel in this game shows the good and bad aspects of the Brotherhood of Steel. Most deep Brotherhood of Steel has ever been, I believe. Shows that, sometimes you need to open up yourself to other people. That very deep, messaging. Great quest. We all love Veronica. I think it's A tier. So this is New Vegas, just the general people of New Vegas. We'll get to, Mr. House and everything like that in one sec. This is just generally the citizens of New Vegas. I would just put them, you know, slightly above, because they are that slightly little bit more civilized, and there is that slightly more stuff to do than compared to Freeside. The people of Novak, I mean, except for, was it Manny and Boone? Except for those people, like, who the fuck really cares? This is one of the worst, I think, main POIs, except for going for a fucking quest. Yeah, there's not much to do there. The dinosaur looks cool. That bumps him up a little bit. But nothing too crazy. Nothing crazy about this place. Put him in D tier. The powder gangers. They're fun. They're funny. It's usually a place you don't really get to go to too much. You don't have a huge interaction. I think most people generally, when they play one of these games, they go for a goody two shoes, or, you know, maybe a slightly gray moral character. So that means they don't really, you know, support the powder gangers. But the developers still made, you know, compared to the fucking games that we have now, they still made a nice faction for the beginner evil, you know, quote unquote evil players. You know, the main problem I think with the powder gangers is that they still are that one-dimensional. I feel like they could have added a little bit more nuance to the powder gangers. Like, okay, maybe they're doing all these terrible things. I don't know, because I don't fucking know. Invent something, but they're doing all these terrible things because they want freedom or something. I don't know. Like, invent something, make it a little bit more nuanced. Big shame. Most of the other you know, main players are pretty good. Put them in E tier. The people of Prim. We all love the people of Prim. I think it's the same sort of shit as Novak. You just pass there really just to do the mission, and then you kind of fuck off. Like, they don't really have that much impact on the story, and not too, like, outwardly iconic as, let's say, the Boomers. I think the Boomers, honestly, they're I kind of like them. Not too great. D tier. I think we can sort of put the bad guys of the Prim thing. Nothing too crazy. The Outlaws of Prim. Like, who gives a fuck, honestly? I don't think anybody's gonna cry me a fucking river because I put the Mole people and the Prim people in the fucking same tier. Van Graff's fucking assholes. Hate these people so much. But like I said, if you want that asshole, you know, capitalistic kill be killed or kill or be killed type shit, I think they did it well written, nothing too crazy. Nice energy weapons, I guess. Nice little, you know, way to get some free fucking energy weapons, free cash by stealing from them, and you don't get any. You steal from them and you don't get any negative karma, which is good, which is a nice little plus. Gonna put them in D tier. This is a Big Mountain. At first I thought it was fucking Helios 1. Main problem is, like, this shit, like, they just show a fucking, like, screenshot and you're supposed to fucking interpret what faction, what political ideology they fucking do. Yeah. Big Mountain, nice dungeon, nice location in the game. I like it because you sort of slaughter all these fucking super mutants, and then you get to the end, and it's kind of a little bit of a sad story. A little bit. They're all fucking out of their mind, hooked up on this fucking this shit, stealth boys. But yeah, and you also get to find Raoul, a great, nice finisher, nice little location, you know, a very, very well written, nice location, I think. Let's put them in a nice little C tier. The Kings, honestly, controversial opinion. I feel like the Kings, I mean, okay, they weren't bad, right? And they're kind of iconic, you know, these Elvis impersonators in their own right. I feel like there's still a couple of more interactions you could have done with them. Not saying that there's not a lot, but I feel like there's more that you could have. I feel like one more quest line with them would have made it really great. I think he would have patched things up a lot more. Just do another random ass location with them, and let's go to a nice little it's B tier. They're still nice. The other side of Freeside. This is one of the most underrated parts, I think, of the game. Not a lot of people go here. It's a cool aspect, like kind of a background thing you don't really get to see, and but there's some nice little things here that makes it really interesting, I think, to see. This is the most interesting, this side, more interesting, I think, than the actual free side, but still, it's just the normal basic people. Not gonna put them in anything too crazy. Okay, yes ma'am. So now we're gonna go in the meat and the potatoes of the video. Yes Man is funny in the way they wrote him. Like, he literally just says yes. He's a fucking robot who literally just says yes to anything you fucking say. It's funny. We all had a couple of laughs. His missions are the best, I think, in the game. But still, it is one-dimensional. It's written to be one-dimensional, but yeah. I'm gonna put him at the top of B tier. The Legion. I think we're gonna put all these ones. Man, okay, maybe house like a fucking here. Okay, the Legion and the NCR, the perfect polar opposites. We both love them almost equally sometimes. The Legion, you think they're these fucking bad guys, these horrible people, but then you get to talk to the main guy, Kaiser himself, and he explains a little bit of his side to the situation. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but at least there's a point. There's something that makes sense there. The NCR are this, massive corporation, this massive government, the new, quote-unquote United States. At first you think, oh, they're these nice, freedom-loving people. And just like in real life, you go deeper, not to say exactly in real life, let's not get too out of hand, but you kind of discover more and more that there are some shady shit down there. You kind of go through that path. There are some shit that's like a little bit weird, kind of a little bit freaky. A lot of fucking corruption. It's kind of like a little bit like real life. Like there's some forces in the world that are potentially like, you think of them as the good guys, generally your government. Let's say something like the United States government or the French European government. You kind of think to yourself, oh, they're the good guys, they're on the good side. But then you kind of dig more and more and you discover there are some fucking shady shit. Besides that, they are still genuinely a decent, besides those shady shit, they still are the genuine, like, best choice. There isn't like this other fucking secret choice that fucking saves everybody. It's kind of the lesser of two evils, and I think that's, a realistic way to have that style of government. I think it's really well done. The fucking the Roman shit is like, okay. The Legion shit is like, okay, we're gonna take something so ancient and we're gonna build from there in order to create a great society later. It's kind of a little bit freaky. It's a little weird, and we all know they're gonna fail in the end. But it's nice. It's a nice, and House is just some sort of a huge capitalistic authoritarian. It's just him. It's fucking him at the top of the fucking totem pole. And everybody else is pretty much his bitch. But hopefully, but still at the same time, at least he has that vision of he's doing something good genuinely for New Vegas. Even if he is that bad, even if he is like an authoritarian, he still is doing good for New Vegas. I mean, he protected New Vegas from the strikes. He's still protecting them right now. He's not like an evil guy. And even when you kill him, you actually lose karma. It's greatly written. It's not like he's not the savior either, because he doesn't really have that nice democracy shit that we like. I think we're good. I think this is pretty good. A tier. I think we've gone on. I think this is a perfect list. I don't think I have too much. I think honestly maybe put a house at S tier. I don't know. You can see. I think, yeah, I think that's a good list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry for these fucking ads. I had my ad block on. I don't even know why these fucking shit is here. But whatever. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe. Have a good time. You know, I'm trying to regain my reputation after last videos, and I think the best way to do that is a nice, solid Fallout New Vegas videos. What do you guys think? Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.